Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Brewer Community School Athletic Complex. Jim Churchill with you, along with our crew of Max Pottle and Nathaniel Bailey. We've got some high school soccer coming your way this morning and afternoon. It is John Bapst at Brewer, playing here at the Community School facility, and the boys' game will lead things off, and we are underway. Girls' game will follow here on Ticket TV at 929theticket.com. Take a look at the rosters here momentarily as we get this one going. Brewer, there's a shot in on the goalie Aaron Garcia for the Witches. Makes the save after a hop, drives it in the opposite direction. A little different vantage point than Doyle Field. We are at field level here today. Thank goodness for a little sunshine. Chilly temperatures. Sun beaming down here on the field and keeping us relatively warm. There is a slight breeze coming from the west that is providing us with a bit of a wind chill factor, but happy to have you with us here on Ticket TV. Throw in there by Brewer, trickles in on the goalie for John Bapst. Trying to track down that number. Oh boy. No, it's either Matt Fitzpatrick. I'm guessing it's Charlie Fussell. Charlie Fussell, senior for Bapst. Don't have the numbers for the goalkeepers here for the Crusaders. Just GK. To the center of the field. Oh, the player took a shot off the upper body there. So two teams volley in the John Bapst end, and Goodrich for Brewer tried to bring it out. Kyle Goodrich is senior, but Bapst keeping things alive. Goodrich again. Keeping some pressure in the end to our right in the offensive third of the field. Carrying it in there is Max Poth. He's a senior for the Crusaders. Now the Witches work it out. Colby Smith perhaps brings it right back into their half of the field. 17, Kyle Sitaway there for the Crusaders. Now it's Smith for Brewer, dropping it back to his teammate Cody Doak. Smith gets it back, drives it deep and across the touch line across the way. Just underway in this one, first game of the day. A couple games coming up on Monday as well. Bangor and Brewer. We'll get to those games here very shortly. And all into the Bapst bench off to our left. Crusader coach is Jan Dupai, and Ben Poland, the coach for the Brewer boys. And that shot wide left-footed shot there by Jack Mason for the Crusaders. While we have a chance, why don't we take a look at the Crusader roster. See, 6 seniors on the team. Junior and sophomore classes represented very well. No freshmen on the Bapst roster. There was a JV game, boys JV game, prior to this. We were winning that one on the JV side. Sit away For Bapst. Drops it back to Poth. Valley had it briefly before it's knocked across the touchline across the way. Fans in attendance here today, bundled up. We've got some couple of warmer days coming up this week, but the sun a bit deceptive here in Brewer this morning. Also makes it difficult for us to see our screens. Max Pottle joining me here at the table, directing the show next to the field. But our eyes have adjusted somewhat. Bapst sit away looking for another ball. Goodrich for Brewer, drives it towards the mouth of goal. Brewer looking to make something happen here, but the shot right there goes wide to the right. I think the shot was off the foot of Jed Gilpatrick. Brewer on the field right now, Andrew Hodgins. He had a very impressive goal the other night against Herman. Also out there is Gilpatrick, Brendan Saunders. There's Gavin Carr. He's usually in the middle of things for Brewer. And he fends off a defender right there. And the call is going to go against Carr. Kyle Goodrich out there for Brewer, along with Colby Smith. Joshua Hoare, a sophomore for the Witches out there. Brady Saunders. And also Ben Lord, a junior for the Witches, on the field right now, along with their goaltender, Aaron Garcia. Seniors for Brewer include Alex Hodgins. We've seen him in goal at times for the Witches in our broadcasts. Aaron Garcia, Alex Carroll, Kyle Goodrich, Hunter Russell, Brendan Saunders, Cody Doak, and Gavin Carr. Witches with the 7-1 win over Herman the other night, much to the chagrin of Max Pottle, a Herman High School grad. Poth for John Bapst. Getting set to set things in motion here. And he delivers it. Hit it out of there by Lord. Here's Sidaway, and his shot goes wide left. Also out there right now for the Crusaders, Jack Mason. He's a sophomore. Aiden Valley, a senior for the Crusaders. Jacob Tyler, another senior for John Bapst. Number 21, Luke Norman. He is a senior for the Crusaders as well. Martin Skasel, sophomore for John Bapst. On the field for Coach Dupai. We're missing number 23 on our roster. Quinn Breen, a junior out there. Most of the action, ooh, save right there with the legs for Aaron Garcia. Nice shot on goal by Jacob Tyler. That one had some mustard behind it, but Garcia with a nice save. And the score remains 0-0. We're with 5 wins on the season. Mason. And they try to work it to the middle of the field. The Brewers going to go to work. Here's Carr in a race with Breen, and Breen goes down again. This time no whistle. Carr in control, working along the goal line. Now the shot, or the pass I should say. Nobody home there for the Witches. And this one driven up into the John Bapst bench. Speaking of the John Bapst bench, let's take a look at the Brewer roster. They are off to our right here. Brewer bench to our right, and see there, you've got some brothers, you've got a couple of Carrs, you've got a couple of Hodgins, got a couple of Saunders on that Brewer roster. And again, Coach Ben Poland leading the way. Across the touchline on the near side. Bapst back at it, and we're trying to clear it out of there. It's going to go across the touchline on the near side. And this one trickles in on Garcia, scoops it up. No damage done. Got an eagle flying over the athletic complex here at the Brewer Community School. Enjoying the action. Unable to get the live stream today, so he thought he'd just show up for a freebie. Carr, and that one's going to be snared by the goalie Fussell. Winds it out towards midfield. Good battle there, and that one won by Cody Doak. Doak very strong. And we got a Bapst player down and a whistle. Brendan Saunders didn't like the call for Brewer. It's going to go against him. It is a spectacular day here in Brewer. Now, let's see, I don't know if the card came out. Cody Doak is coming to the sideline. And I guess the call is language. So Doak will have to stay on the sideline here for a short period of time. Checking in for Brewer is going to be Matt Smith, a sophomore. And miss hit there. Max Poth not happy with his effort. Let's take a look at our next broadcast here on Ticket TV. Coming up on Monday, we've got Bangor at Brewer. That game will be at Doyle Fields. The girls will get things started at 4 p.m. Boys game will take over after that. Looking forward to that matchup. We've had to move that game a couple of times on our schedule this season, so that'll happen Monday beginning at 4 o'clock on Ticket TV. Mason Drive one there towards Garcia. That goes wide right. Tyler. Go. Clock was stuck. We'll get it restarted again here. Bapst has carried the action here so far, doing a nice job defensively, limiting Brewers' opportunities at the left end from our vantage point. There's Hodgins going deep, glances off Breen. Ball up in the air, and Witches collision there between the goalie and who was that? Ben Lord for Brewer. Our broadcast here today brought to you by Brewer Federal Credit Union. We're here for all life's moments. Thanks to all of our sponsors here in the fall of 2020, bringing you some high school sports. We had 5 field hockey matchups, and this is our 4th soccer matchup. Oh, great effort there by John Bapst, and that one deflected wide. Jack Mason getting behind the defense. Garcia, I don't know if it was going to be inside that right post. Garcia with the deflection. And the score remains 0-0. Headed towards Garcia. Easy save there for the Brewer keeper. Garcia, a low kick there off the head of Aiden Valley. Doak back into the game for Brewer. One off Breen. So Brewer will toss it in. Doak tracks down the ball. Fires it to Carr. Carr trying to maneuver his way through the Bapst defense. He's stymied. And it's going to be another. Now we got a corner coming here for Brewer. Grounder, and there's Colby Smith, but his shot is wide. Another corner here. Goodrich goes to work. Ball still alive and finally trickles in on a Bapst player there. Again, we apologize. We don't have number 23 on our roster. I'll double check that. Nothing, and we are approaching the quarter mark. Got some new players coming in here. First for Brewer, Pablo Garcia, sophomore. He had a goal on a penalty kick the other night against Herman. And we have 3 or 4 players coming in for John Bapst, including Josh Martin. Also into the game is Rafa Valentin Gamazo. And also there's Miles Harrison. Caleb Canders in for the Crusaders as well. They shake up their lineup a little bit here, about halfway through this first half. A broadcast of high school sports here on Ticket TV, also brought to you by Tim Bush. If you're looking to buy or sell your next home, call Tim Bush at Next Home Experience today. Tim's number is 951-0747. Action right in front of our broadcast position. Comes Bapst up the right side. Jacob Tyler, and clear there by Doak. Throw in here by Smith as tries to beat the Bapst defense, but the Bapst defense has been pretty darn good here through the first quarter of this game. Hear that breeze. It's blowing here at the Brewer Community School. Can't get the shot off there. Good block there by Hodgins. Brewer Community School off to our left. And years ago, there was a Pendleton Street School up there, and that's where I attended. School I attended back in the day. All right, it's time for that quarter break, and at the quarter, timeout. No score between the John Bapst Crusaders and the Brewer Witches. This is high school sports on Ticket TV. And we are back here at the Brewer Community School Athletic Complex. Jim Churchill, along with our crew of Max Pottle, who's directing the show, and Nathaniel Bailey, who's on camera here today. Girls game coming up right after this between the Crusaders and the Witches. No score, as you can see. Bapst overall has had the better overall play here in the first half. Ball has been in their offensive third a lot. Brewers had some recent opportunities here towards the tail end of the action before we went to the break. And here comes Bapst again. Nice touch there. And in on the goaltender, and a goal right there for the John Bapst Crusaders. And unfortunately, that is the young man we don't have on our roster. Here's another look at it. Sweet touch pass there ahead by Valentin Gamazzo. And we'll track that down. I might have, once Max has things under control, maybe to run over to the Bapst bench and just let them know we don't have number 23 on our roster, and we'd like to give him credit for that goal. So just like that, the Crusaders now with the 1-0 lead. Their pressure finally paying off, resulting in a goal. Now Brewer looking to retaliate Poth breaks up that pass. He's been very active here in this one for John Bapst. Now this one trickles in, tracked down by, no, that's going to be Hayden Bay. And the Witches strike right back. Had Max busy tracking down player names. Let's get another look at it here. Here's Carr on the left side. Delivers it in front, and ball stays alive and pouncing on it. And that was Colby Smith with the goal there for Brewer. So 1-1. So after no scoring for about 20 minutes, within a 1 or 2 minute span, 2 goals. So Hayden Bay, a junior, for John Bapst with the first goal of the game. And then Brewer with the pressure, and Colby Smith, another junior, tying it up at 1. Now Witch is back at it again. Goodrich. Nice pass in front of the keeper. Now the Witches getting their feet underneath them offensively. Bringing in Hodgins, chasing after the ball. It's going to go off Bapst. Hodgins with the toss in, brings it, or gets it into Gilpatrick. And off his left foot, off the side of the net. Witches set things up. Brady Saunders driving it deep. Some physical play right there, midfield. A couple of 10s. Poth and Goodrich. Poth for Bapst, Goodrich for Brewer. And the Crusaders had that brief lead. Trying to get things going again. Caleb Canders with a good effort there. Checking back in for John Bapst. It's going to be Aiden Valley. If you're looking for great food and great views, try the Sea Dog on the waterfront in downtown Bangor. The Sea Dog is open for dine-in, curbside pickup, or delivery. The Sea Dog at 26 Front Street in Bangor. Bapst working the left side of the field. Sit away. Carries it deeper on that left side, and Gavin Carr goes tumbling to the turf. Getting set to check in for the Witches. Going to be Matt Smith again, sophomore. corner. And Lord. And there wasn't much black in front of the keeper right there. Now Bapst pushes it upfield. I guess that initial centering pass there was from Pablo Garcia, and his brother Aaron has one roll in his direction. Garcia drives it past midfield. Poff spins, looking for a teammate on the near side. It's Valentin Gamazo. He had the assist on the goal by Bay. Breen and Carb had some good battles. That one driven into the Brewer bench. Twin City Tire is your #1 locally owned snow tire dealer, and the lowest prices are guaranteed at Twin City Tire. They're located at 609 Wilson Street in Brewer, or you can visit them at Twin City Tire Express at 30 Sparks Avenue in Brewer. There's a shot of the Twin City Tire Express on Sparks Ave in Brewer. Ooh. Shot there over the post. Left-footed blast by Brendan Saunders. And Max Poff coming off the field. And Ben Puchard, who's the trainer here today, he's got some cramps in his calves. Broadcasts are also brought to you by Penobscot Cleaning Services Incorporated, the only name you need to know for all of your professional cleaning and disaster restoration needs. Locations in Brewer and Trenton, 44 years of serving the people of Maine. Check them out at penobscotcleaning.com. I need the trainer to work on my jaw here today to keep it loose. Getting some cramps. I don't think it's cramps. I think it's the chill, the wind chill factor. All right, coming to the scorers table here for Bapst. John Pangburn, he's a sophomore, and Jack Mason getting set to check back in, another sophomore. And for Brewer, it is Jed Gilpatrick, sophomore for the Witches. Hodgins delivers it ahead to Carr. He ends up in the corner to our left, working it out. Still in control is Carr. Runs into a teammate there. A little mix-up there for the Witches. Now Bapst moving it out. On the far sideline, Hunter Kluge, who's in the game for the Crusaders. And here's a shot that's going to go high and wide by Aiden Valley. Crusaders not hesitating on getting those shots off. Checking out for Bapst, Josh Martin and Rafa Valentin Gamazo. Ball there. Here's Carr. Got it from Smith, and this one is deflected to the left. Good hustle there by Smith to keep it alive. Here's Carr in front. Carr trying to position himself to get a shot off, but he is surrounded by Crusaders, and they finally clear it out of there. Ball sent back to the keeper Garcia, and it's going to go across the touchline off of Bapst. battle across the way. On off Brewer into sit away. Spins, maintains control, carries it into the Bapst end. Now into the corner. Good defense there by Cody Doak. And he gets ahead to Smith. Smith to another Smith, Colby Smith. Now Bapst trying to set something up here. Footed shot goes to the left of the net and picked up there by Garcia, who surveys the situation. Now drives it out and gets over the Bapst defense, and ahead of the pack here is Gavin Carr. Carr in alone, and he'll put it wide. What a golden opportunity there for Gavin Carr. He's got his head down, hands on knees. He knows he had a great chance there to give the Witches their first lead of the day. High school sports here on Ticket TV, brought to you in part by Gilman Electrical Supply. Visit GilmanElectricalSupply.com. So we remain tied here in the waning moments of the first half. Game number one of the day. We've got girls soccer coming up next between the Crusaders of John Bapst and the Witches of Brewer. Oh, good touch there. Trying to chase it down for Bapst is Aiden Valley. Driven under there by Brady Saunders. Breen jumps into the fray for Crusaders to keep things alive for them. Now Doak up ahead to Carr. Carr off to the left to Matt Smith. Keeps it in. Carr along the near sideline, now deep into the corner. Bay chasing him down. High school sports here on Ticket TV is also brought to you by Greenway Equipment Sales. Nothing runs like a deer in Bangor and Ellsworth, and at greenwayequipment.com. There by Aaron Garcia, the Brewer keeper. Players careening into each other across the way. One player down for the Witches. Carr again for Brewer. Rolls it ahead, looking for Ben Lord. Gonna go off Bapst there. High school soccer brought to you by Northeast Driving School. They are Greater Bangor's #1 driving school. Visit their location at 360 Harlow Street in Bangor. You can also register for courses at northeastdrivingschool.com. The 3-minute mark here in this first half. Getting set to check in for John Bapst is Martin Skasel. Doak will throw it in for Brewer. Away got in the way of that toss in. Now Bapst working on the near side. Caleb Canders. A nice effort earlier, attacking the goal. Knocked out there off Hayden Bay, who has the goal for John Bapst here in the first half. Colby Smith for Brewer, 1-1 our score. Stay tuned at the half. We'll get you the highlights from the first half, which will include those 2 goals. See if we have any more. 2 minutes left in half number 1. A broadcast of high school sports also brought to you by Dean's Detailing. Give your car a fresh start, inside and out. Call 945-3016 or book your appointment at deansdetailing.com. Ball high in the air. Lord looks to find a teammate. Instead it goes to a Crusader. Going to be a throw-in for Brewer. Goodrich gets it in. Now it careens across the touchline on the near side. Some planes flying over the Brewer Community School complex here today. Plane arriving at Bangor International Airport across the river. It's a cloudless sky. Sun is getting a little higher in the sky, warming things up here for everybody. Just about a half minute left. See if one of these 2 teams can make something happen. Good job there, keeping it in play by Jacob Tyler. He's a senior for the Crusaders. Now here's Carr. Breen will track it down and drive it across the touchline. Ben Poland, the Brewer coach, trying to get his team to hurry up here and get one final shot possibly. And instead that one's going to go off the side of the net. And that is going to do it for the first half. Hayden Bay, a goal for the Crusaders. Colby Smith, a goal for the Brewer Witches. We are tied at 1 at the end of the first 40 minutes. We'll step aside. This is high school soccer on Ticket TV. School, Jim Churchill, along with our crew of Max Pottle and Nathaniel Bailey. Thanks for joining us here on Ticket TV for some high school soccer. John Bapst taking on Brewer here this morning and on into the afternoon on the boys' side, and then we'll get to a girls' game shortly thereafter. Let's get to the highlights here in the first half. Tied at 1, and there was no score at the quarter break, and then it would be John Bapst getting things going. Here's Hayden Bay on the move and gets one past Aaron Garcia right there, the Brewer keeper, to make it 1-0. And very shortly after that, Brewer applying some pressure. Here's Gavin Carr tracking it down near the goal line and then putting it in front. All kept alive. Bapst goaltender could not get control, and there's Colby Smith stepping into the fray to drive it into the net and tie this game up at 1. All right, we'll take another break, and we'll come back and talk about our upcoming broadcast schedule and what's happening on the Ticket, 92.9 The Ticket, main sports leader as well. Keep it right here on Ticket TV. And welcome back to the Brewer Community School, and welcome back to our broadcast of high school soccer here. We apologize for the technical difficulty. Again, we're working outside here in the elements and lost our feed there briefly, but we are back, and you see the score has changed. John Bapst with their second goal of the day, and they lead Brewer now 2-1. First goal scored here in the second half. Hayden Bay and Colby Smith for Bapst and Brewer respectively in the first half. And we're getting the name of the goal scorer here. So we're dealing with our Technical issues from the Brewer Community School. It's nice and dry, but a little chilly here this afternoon in Brewer. All right. Brewer clears it out of there. Ford can't get to it. Driven back in by Martin Skasel for Bapst. And checking out of the game is going to be Jack Mason coming in for Bapst. Logan Parker. Pablo Garcia also coming in for Brewer. Ball in on Garcia to the right of the net. Aaron Garcia wearing the bright orange jersey. Halloween, you'd think things would be in the Witches' favor, but not the case right now. Crusaders up by 1. And Bay and Carr both go down, and what's the call here? Looks like it might go against Bay. So we're going to have a penalty kick here for Brewer. So Gavin Carr scored 3 goals, had a hat trick the other nights against Herman. 1 on a penalty kick. And he's got the penalty here. And he goes low, and he's got the goal. Now it will tie it up. Gavin Carr with the equalizer right there on the penalty. So we are tied at 2. So we take another look at it here. And there you see it right there. You gotta check. Oh, it did not count. Okay, so it is 2-1. So Brewer on top now, 2-1. As they took that goal for Bapst off the board, but Bapst coming right back, and no goal here either. The ball ended up in the net, but no goal there for the Crusaders. So scratch that second goal for John Bapst, and Brewer now with their first lead of the day. So the goals for Brewer, Colby Smith and now Gavin Carr. And this one in front, and another goal for the Witches. I believe that was Pablo Garcia sitting right in front of the net. Ball to him, and he quickly, oh, nice pass there, and I think it went off Garcia as he was going down. Max Bottle, can you play that replay one more time? Again, it's hard to see our screens here with the sun beaming in our faces, but I'm going to try to take a closer look. It's Carr, and yes, that is Garcia right there as he was falling down, putting it home, and that's going to up the Brewer lead to 3-1. And push from behind there is Colby Smith was charging after it. Which is get a little extra space there after the official comes in and marches off the distance. Brendan Saunders, and got another whistle. Getting set to come in for Bapst, Hunter Kluke. Goodrich into the wall of Crusaders there. Has that ricochet right back to him, and then he boots it to the right of the net, across the goal line. High school soccer here on Ticket TV, brought to you by Brewer Federal Credit Union. We're here for all life's moments. Ball across the touchline on the near side, through the Brewer bench. Throw in. Past the Crusaders, but scooped up there by Russell, the keeper. Well, the Crusaders with some work to do. Trail this one 3-1. Sit away. As it deflected by Pablo Garcia. Easy to pick Pablo out. He's got the winter hat on there. Don't blame him on this chilly day. Brady Saunders will throw in for Brewer. Witches. Bapst tries to break out here. John Pangburn out there now for the Crusaders. On the field right now for Bapst, Valley, Kluke, Norman, Parker, Poth, Sitaway, Breen, Bay, and Skasel. Here's Breen weaving his way through the Brewer defense. Knocked out of there by Doak for Brewer. Carr had it briefly near midfield. Carr for Brewer tracks it down in the corner, pushes it past Bay, and then in front is Pablo Garcia, and it's going to sneak past the goaltender. Again, Pablo Garcia camped out in front of the net and manages to get a toe on it as he was going down again, I believe. Let's take another look at it. Same combination, Carr, and yep, there's Garcia going down, and keeper got a piece, but not enough, and it trickled behind him, and another goal for the Witches, seeking their 6th win of the season here this afternoon. They're on quite a roll here in this shortened season. Again, coming off a 7-1 win against Herman the other evening, now up 4-1 in this game. And that was Gilpatrick getting pushed from behind there. Hodgins goes down across the way for Brewer. Hodgins again gets knocked down. We got a whistle. If you're looking to buy or sell your next home, call Tim Bush at Next Home Experience. Tim Bush's phone number 951-0747. Ben Lord Jr. waiting to get back into the game. Also approaching the scorers table for John Bapst, Jacob Tyler. Here's Colby Smith on the right side. Can he get around the defender? Yes, he does. And looking for a teammate in front, it was Pablo Garcia again making his way into that familiar position he has had on the two most recent goals for Brewer, but defense getting back for Bapst to break that one up. Drew Hodgins is going to check out for Brewer. Joshua Hoare back into the game for the Witches. It's Hoare out there along with Goodrich, Brady Saunders, Doak, Brendan Saunders, Gilpatrick, Colby Smith, Pablo Garcia, and Ben Lord along with Gavin Carr. Keeper for Brewer, Aaron Garcia. Too strong there off the foot of Max Poth. High school soccer here on Ticket TV, brought to you by the Sea Dog. If you're looking for great food and views, try the Sea Dog on the waterfront in downtown Bangor. The Sea Dog is open for dine-in, curbside pickup, or delivery. The Sea Dog at 26 Front Street in Bangor. 4-1 Witches. About halfway through the second half. We'll have a break here momentarily. Up ahead it goes from Colby Smith to Pablo Garcia. Garcia trying to track it down. It goes across the goal line. And that's going to be our quarter break, and we will take it as well. About 3/4 of the way through this one. It's the Brewer Witches 4 and the John Bapst Crusaders 1. This is high school soccer on Ticket TV. Back at the Brewer Community School, Jim Churchill, along with our crew of Max Pottle and Nathaniel Bailey. Thanks for joining us here on Ticket TV. News is good for the Brewer Witches so far in this one. They lead John Bapst 4-1 as we get the action back underway after the quarter break. There by Bapst. Goals in the game for Brewer: Colby Smith, Gavin Carr on a penalty, and then 2 goals for Pablo Garcia. Here's Smith trying to break through, but Bay gets to it first and drives it out. Girls game coming up next here on Ticket TV between the Crusaders and the Witches. Hayden Valley getting set to check back in for the Crusaders. Ooh, collision there. And Pablo Garcia down to the turf. Gilpatrick towards the net, but that one well to the right. Broadcast here today brought to you by Twin City Tire. Twin City Tire is your #1 locally owned snow tire dealer with the lowest prices guaranteed. They're located at 609 Wilson Street in Brewer, or you can visit the Twin City Tire Express, as you see right there, at 30 Sparks Avenue in Brewer. Colby Smith trying to lead Garcia, and Garcia trying to lean in and use the body to get to that ball, but it goes out. Looks like Pablo in a little bit of pain. Now here comes John Bapst. Valley Near side to Pangburn. Knocked out by Brewer. Pangburn the throw in. Sit away. There's Canders. Gets it back to Poth. Poth. It's Josh Martin briefly there for the Crusaders. Sit away trying to use his body to protect the ball. And a bit of a tussle there with Gilpatrick from Brewer. And that one up and over the crossbar. Hodgins in and Pablo Garcia coming out for Brewer. Broadcast of high school sports here in Ticket TV, brought to you here in the fall of 2020 by Penobscot Cleaning Services Incorporated, the only name you need to know for all your professional cleaning and disaster restoration needs. They have locations in Brewer and Trenton. 44 years of serving the people of Maine. That's Penobscot Cleaning Services Incorporated. You can visit them at penobscotcleaning.com. Gilpatrick knocked down across the way. Goodrich near side. Brady Saunders. Saunders towards the net, and that's a one hopper to the keeper. Hayden Bay, he's got the only goal for John Bapst. That was the first goal of the game. Brewer in their game against Ellsworth a couple of games ago, earlier this week, get down early to the Eagles, 2-0, scored 4 unanswered goals, and then defeated Herman 7-1, and they lead this one 4-1. So the Witches, in about the last 2 3/4 games here, actually in about their last 2.5 games, have outscored their opponents 15-2. Broadcasting today from field level, just on the edge of the track that goes around the field here at the Brewer Community School. Our camera person, Nathaniel Bailey, up on some scaffolding behind us here. Which is in control, looking for more. Broadcast of high school soccer is also brought to you by Gilman Electrical Supply. Visit them at gilmanelectricalsupply.com. We're keeping it alive. Keeper is out. Gilpatrick and Bay went down. Whistle, and it's going to go against Gilpatrick. Bay to midfield. Stopped there by Goodrich for Brewer. Now the Witches turn it upfield, heading in the opposite direction. Bay knocking it into the fence, down in the corner. Pablo Garcia back in for Brewer, and Valentin Gamazo coming in for John Bapst. Pangburn will check out for the Crusaders. High school soccer on Ticket TV today, brought to you by Greenway Equipment Sales. Nothing runs like a deer in Bangor and Ellsworth, and at greenwayequipment.com. Oh, almost a goal there for Ben Lord for Brewer. Couldn't quite get his toe on that one. His attempt deflected. Goodrich, good work there. Turns it back in the other direction. There's Pablo Garcia in front once again, this time knocked down up near midfield. Doak charging after it and across near touchline. Northeast Driving School is Greater Bangor's #1 driving school. Visit the new location at 360 Harlow Street in Bangor. Register today for courses at northeastdrivingschool.com. Gavin Carr cut off at the pass there by Breen for the Crusaders. To the scorer's table to our right. Sit away. It deep there for Bapst. Take a look at the two schools here a little more in depth. We'll start with the John Bapst Crusaders, located in Bangor, Maine. Is John Bapst. Enrollment approximately 500. The head of school is Mel McKay, and the athletic director is Dan O'Connell. Good look at the location of John Bapst there on Broadway in Bangor. Still 4-1 Brewers. We are approaching the 8-minute mark here in the second half of this one. And that ball across the goal line. Now we'll take a look at Brewer High School. Located just down Parkway South here in Brewer, Maine. Enrollment approximately 670 students. The principal is Brent Slowakowski, and the AD is Dave Utterback. Dave was here earlier today, headed down to a cross-country meet in Augusta. 4-1 Witches. Take a look at the remaining schedule for the Brewer Witches, which is basically our broadcast schedule as well. This is game number 9 for Brewer, trying to pick up their 6th win. And you see right there, it is that game we'll have for you on Monday. Girls at 4, boys at 6. That'll wrap up the soccer schedule for Witches girls and boys here in 2020. That one in on the goalie, off his fingertips, still alive. Carr fighting for control, and a little push there by Gavin, but no whistle, and bounces Breen across the touch line. Coming in for Brewer now, Braden Carr. He's just a freshman, younger brother of Gavin. Gets a foot on it, but it goes up and over the crossbar. High school soccer on Ticket TV, brought to you in part by Dean's Detailing. Give your car a fresh start inside and out. Call 945-3016 or book your appointment at deansdetailing.com. The sunshine, but chilly temperatures here at the Brewer Community School. We'll take a brief break between games here in our broadcast. We'll keep the stream going for all the fans out there. To the right of the net. Checking in here for Bapst. Let's see here. Number 1. And that would be Ellis Collenberg coming in. He's just a freshman for Bapst. And a collision there between Braden Carr and Max Poth. Poth shielding his eyes from the sunshine as he approaches it. Here's Carr with a little touch, and he's got another goal for the Witches. Gavin Carr with his 2nd of the day. A great feel for the game, knew just what he had to do there. Got to the ball first, and then just a little piece right there, and it rode into the net for his 2nd goal and the Witches' 5th in the game. So now over the last few games, since Brewer turned it on against Ellsworth, about halfway through that game, they have outscored their opponents 16-2. still out there working hard in his high school career. Winding down, fitting that it will end against the Bangor Rams coming up on Monday. Carr ahead to his brother Gavin. Gavin gets around one defender, cannot get it past Breen. Alex Carroll there on the field for Brewer. He's a senior. Now Matt Smith will check in for the Witches. And Gavin Carr is going to check out. So Carr with the 2 goals, probably done in this one for Brewer. Moves that ahead to his teammate Josh Martin. Brady Saunders breaks that up. Now here's Colby Smith. Brady Saunders looking up there. Poth takes over for Bapst. Lost control. Battles with Braden Carr. Colby Smith up ahead to Brady Saunders. They're kind of reversing roles there. That one in front, and perhaps able to drive it out of there. Brewer had another great chance. That ball loose in front of the Bapst keeper. Down to the final 20 seconds in this boys game. Doak. Sister Jordan was the high school athlete of the week at 929theticket.com. Taking nominations right now at the tickets website. Again, 929theticket.com. You can also use your ticket app, and the buzzer sounds, and that will do it in this boys game, game 1 of the day. And the Witches come from behind again. John Bapst scored the first goal of the game, but then 5 unanswered for Brewer, and they defeat the Crusaders by a final of 5-1. We'll take a timeout. Back with the post-game show next. This is high school soccer on Ticket TV. All right, back at the Brewer Community School. Game number 1 of the day is in the books, and it goes to the Brewer Witches. John Bapst took an early 1-0 lead, but Brewer 5 straight goals, and they defeat the Crusaders by a final of 5-1. And let's get to the highlights from this game here at the Brewer Community School, and it would be John Bapst taking the early lead. That's Hayden Bay finding the back of the net to make it 1-0 Crusaders. We didn't have any scoring for about the first 20 minutes of the game, but after the break, both teams getting it going. The goal there by Bay, and then Brewer would strike right back. Here's Gavin Carr with some hard work along the goal line there. The Crusaders can't get control, and Colby Smith dives in and finds the range to make it 1-1. And then Brewer would get back to work. Here's a PK for Gavin Carr, and he keeps it low, and he gets it past Fussell, the John Bapst goalkeeper there, to make it 2-1 Brewer. The Witches were not done. Here is Carr getting it in front to Pablo Garcia, and as Garcia was going down, got a leg on it and drove that one home to make it 3-1. And then Pablo Garcia would do it again. And once again, it was Carr with the feed. Garcia going down and getting that one just past the keeper there for the Crusaders to make it 4-1. And then here is the capper for the Witches, and it would be a nice little touch there. And it trickles in off the foot of Gavin Carr as he scores another goal in this one. And the final, Brewer 5 and John Bapst 1. All right, we'll take another break here in the post-game show. Back with more here on Ticket TV. Back at the Brewer Community School, Jim Churchill along with Max Pottle and Nathaniel Bailey. Thanks for joining us here on Ticket TV. Brewer boys victorious in the first game of the day, 5-1. We've got girls soccer coming up next. But first, let's talk about what's happening this weekend. Our main sports leader, 92.9 The Ticket. We've got some college football for you coming up this afternoon at 4 p.m. That game will feature Virginia Tech taking on Louisville. And then coming up tomorrow, an NFL doubleheader. It'll start with Patriots preview at 10 a.m. on The Ticket. And that will lead into the opening kickoff between the Pats and the Buffalo Bills from Buffalo at 1 o'clock. The Patriots postgame show will follow that, and we'll take you right up to Sunday Night Football, which will feature the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, and then weekdays on Main Sports Leader, there's your lineup. 6 to 8 a.m., the morning line. Wayne Harvey, Greg Hirsch, Brian Stackpole, Kevin Hamill, Jeff Hoke. They keep it going there each and every weekday morning, and then ESPN Radio takes over from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m., and then it's back to the drive and local programming from 4 to 6. Yours truly, along with Aaron Jackson, Ernie Clark, Mark Paulette, and great guests on both local shows as well. All right, we'll take one more break. We'll come back and take a look at our broadcast coming up on Monday, and then we will keep the stream going leading into the girls' game, but we're going to take just a little brief break to get warmed up just a little bit, and then we'll be back with more soccer between John Bapst and Brewer. The girls playing here at the Brewer Community School. This is high school soccer on Ticket TV. And we are back here in the post-game show one final time before we take a quick break and then come back with the girls' game between the Brewer Witches and the John Bapst Crusaders. Brewer boys win this one 5-1. And a look at our next broadcast coming up Monday. Bangor at Brewer. We'll have the game for you from Doyle Fields. The girls will get the festivities underway at 4 p.m. and then the boys will play right after that. All right, that's going to do it for our first game here today. Again, keep it right here. We've got girls soccer coming up next. This is high school soccer on Ticket TV.